So we're back at it with this Asus G20 AJ. It's a really cool computer, and I got it in as a trade-in. Customer went to buy a computer from me. He offered this as trade-in. I took it. Probably was not the best idea because this thing has been nothing but a headache and a money pit. But that's fine, and we're gonna do the right thing and just keep investing more money into it. But anyways, so put it together and we found a few things. Number one, it was missing some cables, no graphics card, missing the riser card, and a bunch of days later, eBay and money, of course, and we were able to get it back up and running. Got the computer booted up and found out that it was thermal throttling extreme. Redid the thermal paste and all that stuff, and yeah, still hitting 100 degrees Celsius. Definitely no bueno. So then upon inspection, took a look at the cooler, and camera doesn't do it justice, but pretty much there's a crack in this heat pipe. Can I get it? Is it gonna focus? Probably not. But yeah, there's a crack in this heat pipe. The little liquid that's inside of it kind of leaked out, which that was definitely no good. So this thing is useless, and pretty much heat's not transferring over here. It's just getting stuck on this heat plate right over here. So yeah. So normally that's not a big deal because you could just get on the interweb and just find a parts replacement. Folks, I asked in the last video for you guys suggestions. A lot of you reached out, and needless to say, appreciate you guys reaching out and trying to give me some ideas and some guidance on where to go as far as getting that piece, but I can't find it. I've checked the eBay, the AliExpress, all the suspicious dark websites that want your social security number and firstborn child's blood and all that good stuff, and nobody has it. Discontinue, can't find it. And that's a bummer because, well, without this computer is useless. So you're probably thinking, just like I would be thinking, hey, just get a small, low-profile heat sink and you'll be fine. But the issue is, it's got to be like real low. So I've looked at a couple of 1U coolers, and a lot of them, they're too tall. The smallest one that I could find is like 23 millimeters. It might work. And the issue is that if you look at this DVD drive, well, you see kind of where it goes over. So the cooler may clear it. It may push it up a little bit. Not sure. So let me show you what I got and what might work, because we're definitely going to have to do some, ghetto engineering on this. One thing I like about Silverstone, anytime I'm in a jam and need a part, they normally have that weird stuff that you just can't find. And, well, or just for some reason you can make it to work. So I've always enjoyed that company for that. This is the NT07-115X 65 watt, which we'll see how well that works with this, because I think the 4th gen is like 85 watts. Don't quote me, but something to that effect. This might work. So now a couple of things to consider is, number one, you have the screws for the cooler to be screwed onto the motherboard part of the case. So that's why I kind of went with this. Now this is a little itty bitty guy, but it's got copper. We got to remember to take that off, or that's not going to work pretty good. So this might work. And even if the DVD drive kind of covers us a little bit, we might be able to get away with it, and this might be okay. But now we have another issue that we have to address, which is not a big deal, but we could probably get it going. This is a 4-pin PWM, and let me take you over here. These are some, special connectors, which is not a big deal in the sense that we're still going to use these fans, which I don't think they should be an issue, because I think these are pulling hot air and blowing it out. And then this is going to be pushing cool air on the heat pipe. So we might have an issue with that. I guess the only way we're going to do it is just find out and see if it works. So we'll still be able to use the fans, but we need to get this thing spinning. And what I'm thinking is using a SATA to PWM adapter. That way we could plug it in. And then I have these low noise ones. So if this thing's going full beans and really loud, we could put one in, see if it makes the sound more manageable or the temperature is manageable. So we're going to have to play with it a little bit. I'm going to try one. If not, we'll try two. We'll try to find a balance on that. But yeah, that is going to be kind of an issue because we're not going to have control over this. But right now, it's the only option I got. So let's get this drive out, which typically is a screw over here, if you remember from the last video. And this, because I didn't put everything back together, just slides out like so. So let's mount the cooler in and see if this works. So roughly, and I will take this off, it's gonna mount right over here like so. I'm just gonna screw it in just for now. Like I said, we're gonna do thermal paste and do all that stuff, but we just got to see what our clearance is. I don't want to get rid of the DVD drive. That was another suggestion that some of you guys said, just get rid of the DVD drive. But that's kind of the whole, I guess, experience or purpose of this, small computer. Yes, it's old, but it came with that. I don't want to get rid of that. If I was able to find it, I would have just gone with the original cooler. But I mean, if AliExpress doesn't have it, then nobody's gonna have it. Those jokers usually have everything. Let's see if this clears. Will be better than where we were. Ooh, it's a little higher than I like. As you can see, this is not going to clear over here, and we're probably like maybe a quarter of an inch. Now the other option is to kind of maybe Dremel this piece out right over here, which if we do that, that would clear. And then all we need to do really is then find some way to hold the DVD drive down, which that might be a simple fix with just some double-sided tape. Let me play with this and we'll come back. So we got a solution, and well, I probably should have recorded that part, but we'll kind of use our imaginations on it. So in a nutshell, this bracket that holds everything together, we just cut it off because it came out to about right over here, which did not allow the bracket to sit properly. And then, yeah, that just was not working. So we just kind of cut it. I think I had to cut some of this, and then there's another piece. So, we cut that much off just to kind of get around the shape of the cooler, which allows the bracket to sit. So brackets tucked in here, tucked in there. But then the other issue that I kept on having was that the drive, as you can see, was still too long. So I actually took some of this double-sided tape, put some under the drive, slid it in, and it kind of wedged it, I would say, but it's secure. So it's sitting where it needs to be. It's not going nowhere. So it works pretty good. So we've cleared that. So now the next thing that I need to do is run our SATA to PWM, get that wired up, and this should work. I already went ahead and took off the plastic piece, put fresh thermal paste, but our fan is spinning freely, our drive is secure, and we're on the right track. So as long as this thing cools efficiently, we should be good. Not sure. Let's find out. Now, unfortunately, all I have is a 1 SATA to 2, but it's good to use what you have and not buy tons of extra, because I have a lot of extra stuff that I'm not using. So we're just gonna plug that in right there. I'm gonna start with 1 just to monitor the temps, because I really don't want this thing to sound like a rocket ship. And I might not need it. We might have to take it off and just go full beans, because it might not be that loud. But let's just start with that for now. And just in case you're wondering, these are the low noise adapters, NA-RC7 from Noctua. We're gonna plug in our fan adapter. I was thinking that this was very similar to the ones that you use for the GPUs, because I could have gotten an adapter for that, but nope, definitely not. All right, we'll get some screws for that. So let me finish putting it together. We'll see what happens. A few things happened. So I tinkered with it off camera, and for some reason I could not get power to this connector. For some reason it was not providing power for the fan to spin, making sure the fan worked. It worked. Plug this into another SATA drive. The SATA drive worked, but for some reason it doesn't want to provide the power for that adapter for the PWM fan, 4-pin, whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and try to figure that out. So kind of left me dead in the water, but I came up with an idea. Figured out which was the power and the grounds, and realized that the black, red, yellow, and blue is the same as the connector for over here. And don't mind me, I was just kind of poking, so I just used a little electrical, what do you call that? The electrical tape, whatever. Liquid tape, that's what it's called. I used liquid tape just to kind of, seal up those poked wires. And I decided to junction this fan into this fan. Now, I did solder the wires. As you can see, there's my soldering kit. And I just kind of have it taped up loosely until I come up with a better idea. Mostly because I don't have any heat shrink. But I will go back and redo this, even if I got to add new wires and redo it. But this is more a test of concept. I did test it. When I junction these together, it does power this up, so this header should have enough to power this fan. And the good thing about doing that is that I'll have PWM control. So as the temperature increases, these two fans will increase. Should work. So let me put this back together. Let's see if this works, and hopefully this should be the solution for this project. So what's the verdict? Definitely not bueno. It's not working, and it's what I expected. So wiring them up together, yeah, they're working in tandem, but more than likely they're working against each other because you got this one pulling air down to cool the heatsink, and then this one pulling air up to remove it. So yeah, contrary forces. The fan is at 100%. It is cooling. I mean, we're at 66, 67, 69. So on idle, we sit about 66. If we start doing anything, we start hitting 70 to 80s, which, like I said, I figured that as much. This might work better if I disable these fans, but then again, at that point, where's all the hot air going to go? Because there's no room for it. The whole point is to remove it from here. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So to kind of be a little scientific with it, let's see what happens if I professionally disable these fans. So we're at 59, 57, 58, 56, 55, 68, 70. Yeah, it's really not much change. So even, I mean, disabling those two opposing fans, still doesn't work. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to throw in the towel on this one because honestly, this machine is not going to be enjoyable or usable. I've known people that have had them, and they said the noise is actually not that terrible, but this thing is running full beans, mostly because of this little Mickey Mouse fan, and it's not running right. Also, because of the angle of the CD DVD drive, which you can see right over here, it's kind of sticking up just a little. It's putting pressure on this, and then this thing is not opening right, just because that's just being pushed up by that. So it was worth a shot. I was hoping it would work, but in the end, it didn't. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this machine away, take out the graphics card, the hard drive, and probably that CPU, because I could probably use it. I mean, it's an i7-4790, and just retire this until I get one, or really it's not worth anything. So once again, I reach out to you guys. If anybody knows where I could get the heatsink for the Asus ROG G20 AJ, email me, dlmtechgarage@gmail.com. I'd greatly appreciate it, and will help me out a lot, and I'll gladly pay you for shipping and whatever you can if you can get that to me. So thanks for watching. Fortunately, we can't win them all, and we'll see what we come up with next.